Mackerel, over the past 100 years, what do you think has been the Troop's biggest contribution to the community?
Well, it's got to be recycling. In 1970, the Boy Scouts of America started a program known as SOAR, S-O-A-R, Save Our American Resources. And so I took the scout troop down Airport Road to Homestead. We picked up all the trash along the way. Everything but bottles and cans we threw in the landfill, but the bottles and cans we put on a vacant lot on Airport Road. The lot was owned by Mr. Henry Edmiston, and we had about a 4-foot-high pile of glass and cans. And he said, we'll do something with it later. So the neighbors began to complain. It was an eyesore. And the city contacted Mr. Edmiston and said, get rid of that. So he got in touch with a cocoa bottling company in Durham, and they brought out a crushing machine that they had made, and we crushed it all. Well, they gave us a little money, and the Coca-Cola people said, would you like to do this on Saturday? So we started with their help on Saturdays, and we'd go to the Eastgate Shopping Center, and the people would bring their clearing green glass there, and we would recycle.
So how much glass did you actually recycle?
Well, Jason, it led on into, let me, if you're not in a hurry, let me tell you this. I can talk your ears off. The city picked, Mayor Howard Lee was a mayor at that time, and he picked up on this, and he said, you know, the city is going to start doing it. So they got all these 55-gallon steel drums, and down on Plant Road, that was where the Public Works was at that time. And so the public started bringing glass. Well, it didn't take but about a month when they realized it was costing more than they got the glass, so they had to give it up. So I approached the mayor and said, can the Scout Troop 39 take it over? Yep, you sure can. You can use our cans and you can use our property. So we started recycling glass. And I won't go into how we made our own glass crusher, but we made a glass recycling center and operated it. Let's see, we got through with it about 1973, and by, I don't know, 78, they moved the Public Works area out to Airport Road. But in that length of time, we recycled over 28,000 tons of glass.
Wow.
And let me tell you a little story. I worked out a deal with a glass company in Henderson. It was called Lawrence Glass. And what they would do, they would bring a trailer with their truck, went out in the state and come it back this way. They would drop off the empty trailer and would put the glass in it, okay? Well, the glass was run up in huge silos, and we had the crusher under it, but it would crush and fall into a wheelbarrow, and the boys would wheelbarrow out the glass and throw it in the, just dump it right there in the trailer. Well, I got a call from the city, the Public Works Director, Harold Harris. He called me one day and said, "Hey, Mackerell, get down here, you've got a problem." So I said, "Well, I'll come down at lunch." And all of you know how a tractor trailer naturally wheels the back, but it has legs that, you know, stand up. Okay, that's the way the trailer was parked. When I got down there, the weight of the glass had pushed the trailer right down through the legs, right down so that the tip, the front, was down on the ground.
Wow.
Mr. Harris could not lift it with a forklift. I said, "Gosh, what am I going to do?" He said, "I have two 40-ton jacks." And he had, for some reason, 4x4s, about 2 feet long. Anyway, we jacked the trailer up, and I called the people in Lawrence Glass, and they said, "Well, we'll have a trailer dropped off, and the tractor picked that up." So I happened to be there when he did it, and the driver could not get under the trailer. It lacked about 2 inches, and he would spin his wheels. So the driver got frustrated. He said, "Get out of the way." He gets a running start in reverse. He hits it. It goes up on the 5th wheel. That's what locks it in there. And I could see the springs go down. Well, when he hit it so hard, the fan belt came back, the fan came back against the radiator, or the radiator came back against it. It tore it all to pieces, and all the water ran out of it.
Wow.
So he said, "Don't worry." He pulls it over to the asphalt, puts it down. He calls. They say, "Okay, we had one being worked on over in Raleigh. It'll come pick it up." I went on back to work. The next day I got a call from the Lawrence Glass, and they said, "Please don't ever do that again." I said, "What have we done?" "You overloaded it." I said, he said, "You had 80 tons of glass on that truck." We would have lost our license to haul had we been stopped for a weight check. I said, "Okay."
So you guys.
So, anyway, at that location, we did better than 28,000 tons of glass.
Wow.
And then Mr. Harris called me months later, and he said, "You fellas save 5% of the landfill space. Would you consider doing another recycling center?" I took it to the boys because, you know, they complained, but they felt so good about what they had done. They said, "Let's go for it." So they, at Airport Road, they leased the land to us for $1 a year. It was to run out in 2006. It's a long story. We built the recycling center, and we switched from glass primarily to paper and to aluminum.
How much of paper and aluminum did you recycle?
In the 27 years that we operated it, we did better than 285,000 tons of paper.
Where'd you get it from?
Well, a lot of it came, most of it, well, a lot of it came from Blue Cross Blue Shield. But when we were working with Sunoco, they had a plant over in Durham. And at that time, the troop would make what's called a tipping fee. For every ton that we diverted from the landfill, the city would give us X numbers of dollars. Well, the paper company would only pay us or for white and green or color paper. In other words, no newspapers, no magazines, no mixed paper. Well, Sunoco, we had built a shed. They told us that they would bring these 40 cubic yard trailers, open dumpsters, and people could bring mixed paper. And the public, Chapel Hill, is great on recycling. They would fill those up. There were 3 of them every week. So even though we didn't get paid for it, that recycled mixed paper is in that. And that's what helped contribute to so much paper.